Hey everyone, how's it going today? I'm cryptoFOXXY and thank you guys so much for stopping by the channel. So in this video, we are going to talk about the Bitcoin Reserve and how does it work? Well, let's talk about a little bit about what to expect and kind of how this thing is going to be incorporated into the United States' finances. So let's jump into it in this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on X as well if you're watching over there. Trump has promised to establish a strategic national Bitcoin reserve. This is something that he had promised back when he was campaigning for the presidency, and he has shown that he is very serious about crypto. Now, he's also come out with his own coin. Some of his family members have been promoting crypto. There's a number of different things that has shown that Trump is really serious about crypto. Now, in a recent interview with Bloomberg TV, Binance CEO Richard Tang discussed US regulations and the crypto reserve and what it could mean basically for the markets. He says the year ended with the election of a pro crypto president. Now, President Trump gave good optimism into the space, and he predicts that it's going to be the start of the golden era of crypto. And he thinks that momentum is going to build and continue from this. So if you look at the past 4 years under the Biden administration, Operation Choke Point was in progress. And this was a bit of oppression in the United States. It stifled a ton of innovation, and it really showed that the US was not serious about crypto. They looked at it more of a scam, a fraud, and they said that there's a lot of bad actors. Well, there's a lot of bad actors everywhere. There's a lot of bad actors in stocks. There's a lot of bad actors in business, in finance, everywhere. There's tons of scams in terms of using, US dollars or fiat money anywhere in the world. And right now we have a fresh reset. We're restarting now with a brand new government and a new administration that is more crypto friendly. So by this, it shows that they're serious. They're willing to learn about crypto and have those really, really difficult discussions, right? Those discussions that bring innovation and set some of the tone for a legal framework in regards to crypto. It's crucial to understand what a Bitcoin strategic reserve is and how we think it might work. Now, we're going to get into that, and this is uncharted territory for the US and many other places around the world. A lot of countries have yet to really dive into the crypto space. It's not unprecedented for the US government to establish asset reserves, however, but strategic or not, Fort Knox has held gold for many generations. That's just one, for example. We also have the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR, and it's been around since the Arab oil embargo of 1973, 1974. So what it is just basically a big stockpile of oil. It's really, just crude oil stockpile just in case they need it. Now, a national strategic Bitcoin reserve would in theory work the same way, but with a stockpile of Bitcoin instead. Now, Bitcoin is, easier. It's going to be a bit easier for them to store. They're not going to need as much room. Instead of having room for like barrels of crude oil taking up actual like space in warehouses or in, facilities, we're going to have a Bitcoin reserve. It will be digital assets, right? All you'd really need is to have a way to access the ledger and kind of have a way to secure it. So, I say all you need, but that is still one of the struggles that they're going to have to go through and figure out how they're going to prepare for that. Now, a Bitcoin reserve could help the nation prepare for a shortage in Bitcoin because, as we know, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence. That's how it was created. That's how it was designed, and that's what makes it scarce, right? Even oil and gold, yes, there's a certain number that you can have altogether in the world, right? It runs out. It's not a renewable resource. However, Bitcoin is even more scarce, and really, it's not made for to transact with. So having the reserve to hold and maintain your Bitcoin is going to have to be very, very secure. Now, El Salvador has tried this. Bitcoin reserve would be unprecedented in the United States, but it's not a first on the global scale. El Salvador has at one point reportedly held about 5,500 Bitcoins, and it worked out very, very well for them. They made some money. They more than doubled the value of their investment, and it actually caused some innovation as well. The Tether, the company behind USDT, the stablecoin, they moved their headquarters from the British Virgin Islands to El Salvador after the company secured a digital asset service provider license. So it basically opened the door for them to expand their business and to move elsewhere into a more crypto-friendly space. They also use the US dollar as their main currency because, like I said, Bitcoin's not really supposed to be traded. Bitcoin is more, well, not traded, sorry, spent, right? Spent like a currency. I mean, it can become a currency. However, a lot of people look at it and refer to it as digital gold. So you're going to want to hold it and store it. It's going to become more valuable over time. Now, even if the US establishes a Bitcoin reserve, they're not going to ditch the US dollar either. This is going to be a supplemental thing. This is going to be something that they're going to hold that's going to increase in value over time. It's an investment, right? Now, the logistics do look a little unclear right now. We don't know exactly how this is going to go down. Would Trump need Congress's approval to establish the US Bitcoin reserve? Or can he, do this with an executive order, which is going to be legal? We kind of don't really know how that's going to play out yet. We do know that he has signed executive orders for crypto, but there's a question how the government would source the Bitcoins to populate their reserve. Now we know that they have confiscated a ton of Bitcoin from scams and fraudulent activities, and they do already have a bit of a stockpile. And David Sachs has come out, the crypto czar, and said, that they're not going to be buying more Bitcoin uh, with the public's money. So U.S. residents are not going to be, paying taxes, and they're not going to be taking that money and going out and buying Bitcoin with it. So how they're going to add to their reserve remains unclear. If they're going to add to the reserve remains unclear. And right now, everything is in kind of a beginner phase right now. We're just kind of getting through the motions. Right now, they're doing a ton of research and opening up their minds to the possibility of having this reserve. And that in itself is something to be said. Now, right now, there's more questions than answers. But as we move along, things will definitely become more clear. And this could impact America's financial future for years to come down the road. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you liked this video format. Let me know down below if you'd like to see more of these. I'm definitely interested in, expanding some of the knowledge base that I have built here on the channel. So thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on X as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.